WTF, ladies? Are you walking the fence line? Oh, I walked that fence line for a really long time in my life. And in the beginning, I didn't know I was walking along the fence. I just was walking along with conventional thought and societal expectations. And I was walking the pathway that I had been handed. And as I walked that path, the further and further I got down that path, the more and more unhappy I became. I found that I was dissatisfied in my life, that I was unfulfilled in many aspects, but most importantly, I was dissatisfied and unfulfilled in my relationship. My marriage was toxic, and it was not the place that I thought I was going to end up when I got married at 24, and not where I thought I was going to be when I met my ex at 19. But that's the way of conventional thinking and societal expectation, is that you make this commitment, you choose this person, and you stick it out no matter what. So here I was, walking the fence line, and after a while, I really started recognizing and realizing there's something else over there. Boy, wouldn't it be great to be over there? Because I'm certainly unhappy over here. And I wanted a life where I could be fulfilled, where I could have something different, where I felt like my life would be better, where I could be healthier and happier, and most importantly, where I could be authentic. But I was stuck on that side of conventional thinking and societal expectations because I was put on that path at a really young age. And before I knew it, I was living a life where I was dependent. I was unhealthy. I was doing the same thing over and over, and I was expected to be the same like everybody else. I also felt like I had to sacrifice who I was for the sake of being a mother, a wife, an employee, and everything for everyone else, that I couldn't live my life for me. Hi ladies, I'm Kat Lindquist, director and co-creator of Badass Red Dress Society. And in my last video, I talked about awareness and the critical foundational aspect that awareness brings for us to actually create the liberated life that we desire. And are you actually living your life with intention? Or are you still living your life on default? Or do you think you're living your life with intention, but a lot of that default is still coming through? And walking the fence line means to be walking on the side of conventional thinking and societal expectations. And as I said, we're put on that pathway really, really young, at the very beginning of our lives. And it dictates all aspects of our lives, starting with our relationships. It shows us that monogamy is the only way to have relationships. And that if you aren't going to be monogamous, then you are not conventional thinking and societal expectations, and therefore you don't fit in, and you are ostracized and outed and outcast. It also dictates how we live our lives with health and wellness, that we're supposed to use medicines and pharmaceuticals and pills to address the symptoms that we experience, that we are to accept disease management rather than really getting to the root cause of something and addressing what's happening underneath the surface. And lastly, it shows us that financially we are supposed to work a job, that we're supposed to be an employee working for someone else, and that we have a certain way of going through work and then retiring, and that retirement has to look a certain way, and you have to have a certain amount of money, and that your financial investments are supposed to include buying a house or property, and these are the conventions that society gives to us. They prescribe how we're supposed to live our life. And it bombards us from every angle, in movies, TV shows, ads, and especially our music. They all dictate to us about how we are supposed to live our lives with our relationships. That there's songs and movies that all talk about the one and only, or that one true love. That jealousy is a form of showing love. That if you're not jealous, how much do you really love me? That cheating is kind of the dark side of that, but it just is the accepted other side of the coin. And that if you lose a relationship, or you don't have this type of monogamous relationship, that it causes pain and heartache and heartbreak in your life. So this is what we're given. This is what we're prescribed. And these are the things that we take in from very early on in our lives. And we adopt and create our lives and relationships all based on these belief systems and these thought processes and feelings that we are taught we're supposed to have. Now, perhaps you were like me and you decided that I can't really live completely with that, but that dark side of the coin, that's really the only way that I can have any sort of fulfillment. So now I got to straddle the fence. And let me tell you, ladies, straddling the fence is hard. I've got one foot on the monogamous side, where I have to put up the facade that everything is fine, that my relationship is solid and good and happy and all this stuff, and I have to lie because it's not. And then my other foot is in the non-monogamous side. It's in the side of liberation, but it's only there from a negative point of view. It's not there because I'm being ethical. It's not there because I'm truly liberating myself. I'm trying to get both sides to work for me. And I can tell you, ladies, when you straddle that fence and you keep trying to walk along, the farther you walk, the harder it gets. And it's exhausting to keep that up, because the lies and the deceit and the hiding and the keeping of the stories straight. Who did I tell what to who? And what if someone sees me with someone else? And all these different things that I have to manage now because I'm not being ethical and I'm not being honest, because I'm trying to walk the side of convention, which says I'm not supposed to cheat, but I want to be fulfilled. And so my non-monogamous nature is pulling me to that side, but I'm still got one foot firmly in the camp of conventional thinking and societal expectations. And let me tell you, ladies, in the end, most of the time, it ends in emotional disaster, heartbreak, and a really torn up and sore pussy in so many ways. And if you just take that image and that vision of a chain link fence, and you're trying to straddle and walk across that, and you're dragging your pussy across the top of that chain link fence, yeah, it hurts. And it's not good for anybody. And I can tell you because I've been there. Or maybe you've now jumped to the other side of the fence and you are wanting to practice ethical and consensual non-monogamy, ECNM, in the form of polyamory or an open relationship, or even swinging if your partner is coming along with you and that's one of the aspects that you're stepping forward into, but you're doing it in an ethical way. But if you jump over the fence and you're just on that other side of the fence, then you are still close enough to the fence where a lot of your influence and your thinking is still very tied to conventional thinking and societal expectations. You're bringing all that stuff with you because you don't know any different. You haven't learned yet, but you've jumped the fence and you want to do things ethically. You want to learn how to be non-monogamous. You want to be liberated and free. However, you're navigating now in an unfamiliar territory, and it might even be uncomfortable in the beginning, especially as you're first opening up, because this is really new and different. And how are we going to do this? And you still have these beliefs, and who is there to guide you? And I can see it's like struggling to adapt to this new territory without a roadmap or a guide. And the image that came to mind was if I'm in France and I've got a map of France, a physical map of France, and I've learned that map and I've been using it and it's helping me and I'm getting from place to place, and then I cross the border into Germany. And now I take my map of France over to Germany. Is that going to help me? Is that going to help me get to the cities that I want to see in Germany? Well, I'm going to try. Maybe if I equate this city with this city, the city in France to the city in Germany, maybe if I follow that road, maybe it'll get me there. It's not going to work. We need a new roadmap. And we need a guide to help us find that roadmap. In fact, I'm actually on a trip to China as you are watching this video, and we decided to use a tour company and to take a tour which is guiding us through specific areas of China so that we can get to know the country. And I expect this will not be my first trip to China, that it will be my only trip to China, but my first trip to China. And so I'm using a guide and I'm getting the lay of the land and I'm doing my homework and watching videos and reading up on it. And so I'm really, really excited about going because I have some guidance and I'm not going to be there alone. So ladies, if you're walking that fence line right now, I understand. And maybe you've jumped over and now you're in your new territory, but you're still kind of struggling. You're still not quite there. And you want to be there, but you're not understanding why you're not. Well, I can tell you that when I made that leap and I started this journey 6 years ago, I had all the same struggles that you have. I was deeply ingrained in my monogamous thinking, and it was impacting this new life that I was trying to create. I had jealousy, insecurities, and self-doubt about who I was becoming and how being in this new type of relationship structure was defining me and creating this new person that I wanted to be. It impacted the way I acted and reacted with my partners. And I also realized that my communication skills were really not up to speed in being able to share things about my insecurities or my self-doubt, or even to ask questions. Sometimes I didn't even know what questions to ask. And having a guide and someone who knows the territory is so helpful. And so, ladies, I have done this research and I have been doing the self-reflection and the internal growth in how to live and create non-monogamous, polyamorous, and other non-traditional relationships. And I'm creating a roadmap for you so that you don't have to have that same struggle. You don't have to go through all of the research and all of the trial and error. And sure, you're still going to have some of that. But when you have a roadmap and a framework to go off of, it is so helpful. And ladies, I am so excited to be able to share this with you. Because don't you want to live a life where you get to be your best authentic self? Where you can create relationships that are based on mutual agreements, connected energies, and a harmonic balance to share interests, desires, goals, and dreams? Don't you desire to have relationships that are valued by the richness of the interactions and your shared experiences? Also, your personal and combined growth, rather than seeing success as longevity or by a legal status? Don't you want to connect with people who satisfy both short and long-term intentions in your life? And to have a life where liberation, abundance, and freedom reside? Don't you want all that? Do you believe you can have this? By walking on the side of the fence of conventional thinking and societal expectations, it's really hard to have that kind of existence and relationships because it doesn't set you up for that. And it certainly doesn't provide you the support, the guidance, or the information that you need to create such a life. And it's by expanding your awareness and beginning to implement intention that you can not only jump the fence, but you can begin to move away from the fence and away from the influence of conventional thinking and societal expectations into true freedom and liberation. And at Bard's Badass Redress Society, I am committed to supporting you along your journey. And I'm taking a bold stand for you by creating the relationship revolution. And this relationship revolution is an opportunity for you to take charge of your life, to create intimate relationships on your terms, and for you to develop the liberated life which brings out the best authentic self you can be. So I invite you to join me on the liberation side of life. And to entice you over, I want to offer cookies. No, it's gonna, come to the dark side. We have cookies. No. But I actually have something better. What I have is a free 30-minute relationship revolution session just for you. And in this session, we'll have 30 minutes where we get to talk about your dreams and desires, to identify the roadblocks, and to begin creating your individualized roadmap so that you can take the journey of creating your relationship revolution. And you can also create your authentic self. So check the email content for information on how to connect with me for your free 30-minute relationship revolution session. As spaces are limited, so jump on that today and we'll get you in as quickly as we can. And be sure to also check Meetup if you're in the local Ventura County area. We're going to be having some meetups coming up in the next month or two. And also, if you haven't yet, join us on Facebook at Professional Polyamorous Sisterhood. It's our growing tribe of women just like you who are making connections with other women to build and create your tribe, your support system, and to know that you can connect, create, and thrive in your life. And I am so proud and honored to be able to bring this to you. It is my purpose in life to impact the world with positive information, support, and a relationship revolution so that every woman can live her authentic life. So stop walking the fence line, ladies, and join Bards today. I am here for you to help you along your journey. So thank you for being a part of Bards on this email list, and invite your friends to join us as well. And I look forward to seeing you either at our next Bards event or workshop. I'll see you on Facebook as well. And retreats are coming. So that's a little secret. Retreats are coming, and I'm so excited that over this next year I'm building some really exciting things for you. So thank you for taking the time to watch this whole video. And on my next email video, I'm going to be telling you why I don't want you to belong to Bards. So until next time, be the badass red dress you were born to be. This is Kat Lindquist. Cheers.